Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com. I'm going to do a quick third look gameplay video for Blade & Soft, a 3D action MMORPG developed and published by NCSoft. So let's just go ahead and get started right now. This is the third look video, and I've played this game a decent amount right now. We're level 40. I'll do a fourth look video when I get to max level and I play a bit longer, but I figured it's a pretty big game, so I should do an update video for Boob and Soul. And I do call Boob and Soul quite a bit because the game has some remarkable boob physics. Look at him go. Literally, the boobs shake when you do everything. Even when you say lol, your character jumps up and you get the boob physics. You bust out your weapon and they go. So yes, they put a lot of time into boob physics in Blade & Soul, so it's worth mentioning. I'm enjoying this game a lot right now, and I figured it's good time to do an update video. So let's talk to Shinhei right now. Any of these yellow exclamation or quests, any yellow quests over here are your main storyline quests. And it's kind of nice because they are voiced over. And I do want to say the story in Blade & Soul isn't bad. The storyline in most MMORPGs tends to suck, and players skip them. But I figure if you're playing Blade & Soul, spend the extra few minutes here and there listening to the story because it's voiced over. It's not bad. It's nothing great, but it's quite entertaining. Plus, there's a lot of interesting characters and there's cool cutscenes. So I feel like you'd be missing a lot if you don't listen to it. And it's usually not too much exposition, so it's not like 10 minutes of story at a time. It's usually a pretty short burst. We will skip this just for now, though, because we're recording. This way, follow me, warrior. Yes, we got a follow quest. Who doesn't love follow quests? Please do not let it be too late. Alright, I'm following you. You're taking your time. Luckily, there aren't too many of these. And I want to make this video to tell you guys what I like about Blade & Soul so far, and what I don't like. To give you guys an updated view of the game. And as you guys know, the game launched in 2016 in North America. Took a while to come out of here. I don't know why. It came out in Asia well before then. Obviously, what I like most about the game is the action combat because it feels quite rewarding. And even though the main storyline quests are super easy, like the quest we're doing right now, we're not going to die, as are most of the mainline quests, and just the side quests are really easy. But don't mistake that for the game being too easy because there are, solo dungeons and stuff. There are side bosses and dungeons that can be challenging. For example, there's a solo dungeon over there by the Shrine of the Moon. It's not solo, but you could do it solo. If you go there and try to beat that boss by yourself, it's not going to be easy. In fact, on my earlier stream, I actually did one of those dungeons, a solo boss over there. Not that one in particular, but a different one. And it took me a good hour to beat it, only because that was the first difficult boss I ran into. And the game doesn't really train you well to play your class until you meet a challenge. And that was the first challenge I met in the game. So once I got, it was like level 35, I'm only level 40 right now. But once I got there, I struggled for about an hour. And I kept, through trial and error, I eventually beat it. And it felt super satisfying. Beat it solo. It was a lot of fun. I mean, very few MMORPGs give you that sense of satisfaction in combat, and Blade & Soul is one of those games. Whether you pull off good, on-point combos, whether you perform really well on dungeons or PvP, it does feel really rewarding because you can, because the thing about Blade & Soul is if you play correctly, you can mitigate pretty much all the damage. I mean, you can run through encounters without getting hit once. You can dodge, you can block, you can go behind enemies. If I hit Q, I can go right beneath enemies. I'll show you my Q in the next fight over here. So we're going to skip this dialogue for now. Are you an Ikasun, friends? One thing is kind of odd. I mean, this might be just a personal thing. Because all the names are Korean names, it's kind of hard to keep in touch with some of the characters. You kind of lose proper nouns. But that could just be my Western mind thinking. Obviously, there's some characters just stick to your mind, like Jin So-yoon and some of the more important characters, but I feel like a lot of the names do get lost when you keep track of it in the back of your mind because, again, they are Korean names. But that could just be me. Anyway, we gotta go this way now. We gotta run all the way back over there. Luckily, we can just click M, click our wind stride, and we should be going. So look at that. So I actually want to get my full set. I want to get this full blue set that I'm wearing right here. I'll show when I get to the next zone. Another thing I really like about Blade & Soul besides the combat is the game's cosmetics. They're actually really well done, and they're absolutely gorgeous, actually. I mean, and the good thing is a lot of cosmetics are available in-game for free, just by farming some of the world bosses. And it kind of gives you a side objective to do. It's I like when games give you stuff to do besides the main quests and PvP and dungeons. Grinding for cosmetics is not necessary, but just having the cosmetics there gives you more reason to play the game. For example, I want to get this full set. I think it looks really nice. Let's pull it out. It's going to be in here. These two pieces, look how nice that looks. Plus I can wear a helmet over it too, but I'll be able to farm these relatively soon. I can get that by killing this world boss and using his essences on a RNG wheel in town over here. And if I do that for probably about an hour or so, I should be able to get it. But that's my current goal right here. Before we go to that quest, I'm gonna grind some of these guys so I can. I have to do this quest. I have to kill something over here. What do I have to kill? Defeat the raving poachers. The raving poachers are over there. Let's go get them. And actually, another little thing I like, minus the nice panty shot over there, is actually just running around in Blade and Soul feels super satisfying. Just jumping, just striding around. It feels really nice. Very few games like I just enjoy like looking at the scenery and letting it soak in. On the negative side, there's still some latency issues with the servers, and in a game like this, for PvP, you need the absolute minimum latency possible because, again, you have to be able to block in time. You got to be able to react in time. So we got behind this guy, for example. In PvP, it's just super important to like do your blocks correctly. Like, for example, let's go pull this guy. I can block him. And when this guy attacks, if I click Q, I can go behind him. And if I do Q at the right time, I can actually mitigate his attack. So I can actually block that attack and go behind him and activate my stance. And of course, that's not super easy to do when you have even 100 latency. It can be a lot of trouble because with these NPCs, you can see them prepping their attacks, so it's super easy to block. But if an enemy's like doing a quick right click or a left click, it's very hard to see that coming. And if you see it coming and you can't react fast enough, I mean, because of ping, it can be super frustrating. So that alone can be a big deal. I mean, a lot of people quit playing because of the latency issues, and they're still here, but I imagine, you know, how close you live to the server makes a big difference. Also, there's still some frame rate issues, performance issues rather. I'm running a GTX 1080 and I still get some performance issues. Randomly while jumping around flying, I'll drop frames and it'll run like 20 FPS for like half a second and catch back up. That doesn't seem to be fixed just yet, unfortunately. And the late game gear grind is supposedly pretty insane. I haven't gotten there yet myself, but I have friends that have gotten there and they've told me that it can get pretty insane to progress your gear late game. But as is, I'm having a lot of fun just going through the main storyline stuff, grinding cosmetics. Even like, technically all the cosmetics in the game should be available because you can actually sell gold you get in game through the currency exchange system over here. So players trade their end coins, which are premium currency, for in-game gold and vice versa. So you can, you can acquire premium currency just by playing the game. Though it doesn't sound, it's not that easy because you have to grind an incredible amount to be able to get gold. And you'll be competing with the gold farmers and stuff too and the bots. But it is feasible to do it. Oh god, we're aggroing too many things. Let's hopefully run towards this guy and we'll be okay. Go behind him, we kill him pretty quick. Trash mobs, of course, are super easy. In fact, the entire main quest line is super easy. And of course, the problem with having an easy main quest line and regular quests is it doesn't really prepare you for the more difficult challenges. So you end up being really weak sauce when you're doing solo dungeons or just anything that requires some skill. In fact, I didn't bother looking at my skills and using my skill points until I ran into a difficult situation at level 30-ish. So until then, I just really just cruised past the game doing the most basic combos. So if I kill this guy, for example, he's going to drop some essences. I can use those to spin the loot wheel back in town to get more cosmetics and other goodies. There's only one other person fighting this right now. This guy's like, he's got 600k HP, but I mean, this is not the best example, but this guy, if you play like without thinking and just left click spamming or ability spamming, he's going to kill you. I mean, one-on-one. But you can actually block all his attacks relatively easily because they're all well coordinated. So if you play properly, like, this guy won't even hit you once. But of course, other bosses are more difficult because they have ads and stuff. But this guy, you can block this, for example. Easy blocks. He's got tons of HP, but this guy is actually super easy. He's not meant to be too hard, though. I feel like most of the world bosses early on are pretty easy. But I'm enjoying the game a lot, though. I mean, everything from beautiful graphics to really fun combat. Obviously, the combat is the most standout aspect of the game. I mean, having played Blade and Soul now and still enjoying it, I think it's got the best action combat of any MMORPG, and I think most people will agree with me. I mean, some people still prefer tab targeting for whatever reason, but I mean that's a different issue. But I mean, I think it's way more fun than the combat in Neverwinter, for example. Terra, I haven't played too much of, but I'm enjoying the combat here a lot more. You can block this attack too. Of course, you can get out of the circle too. Double tap backwards. Guys gonna go down, and we should get some wonderful essences. And nice. Defeated Lycan the Mighty. He wasn't so mighty. So we got those 2 essences. We can use them over here in town. Another nice little thing I like about Blade and Soul is the games. Look at those boob physics. Best boob physics NA. Is the dungeon lobby. So you can do crossover dungeons with friends. And it actually makes finding parties for dungeons super easy. It's almost like looking for a raid in World of Warcraft. It just works. That's probably the best way to describe it. So anytime you need to go through a 6-man dungeon, just hop in, click F8, log into the lobby, and pick which dungeons you want to go through, and queue up for them. We queue up for these right now, but it says level 45 recommended. We're not quite there yet. We're only level 40. I know I did Tome of the Exiles like 15 times just through this crossover dungeon lobby. You can see all the outfits that drop too. So you can get quite a few cosmetics just from the regular drops in game. Though again, it's not necessarily easy because you'll have to grind through them a lot. But because they're not so important, the fact that you have to grind a lot to get them is no big deal in my mind. If anything, it gives you something else to do and reason to keep playing. In fact, I've been grinding the essence boss over there, the one we just killed, quite a few times, only because I want to get that blue set. I mean, I already got everything else I needed from the loot wheel over there, but I want to be able to get the cool set because I gotta look stylish, you know. But I'm definitely, ooh, what a great place to load into, right? Know what I'm saying? And let's go head back to our quest location over here. Overall, though, I'm having a lot of fun in the game. It's definitely one of the better free-to-play MMORPGs. If you've played in the past and quit, I mean, you might want to come back because they did introduce the new Soul Fighter class. This might be a reason to come back. If you never played it, I do strongly recommend checking it out. It's one of the prettier games. So with the character art and the enemies looking really nice, I feel like the ground can look, some certain aspects of the game can look kind of ugly, like rocks. This rock looks pretty decent though. But like, just look at the background, it looks really nice. So few games just let you just enjoy the scenery like Blade and Soul. Whoops, I just smacked the ground. Look at that. Look at the wonderful angles over here. So we're heading back towards our main quest line over there. Of course, the in-game currency exchange is nice too. If you want to be able to farm all that stuff. Block this guy. Again, even though this is like the regular enemies are super easy and not too challenging, there are challenges in the game. And even while just doing regular quests, it does feel rewarding to just be able to blocking at the right time and just killing things. Most of the time, it just feels like mind-numbing when you're grinding in a game or grinding quests. But Blade and Soul it's a little more fun, which is nice. You're back. So the voice acting again, it's pretty hit or miss. Some characters are pretty hilariously cringy bad. Other ones are pretty solid. I wouldn't skip the scan for now. He wants us to go to that. Is that a dungeon? Nope, just a cave. Let's go to that cave. Another thing too, you can actually hop over almost any piece of terrain in the game. A lot of games have like invisible walls and stuff, and they don't let you jump over stuff. Here, you can get over almost anything. Of course, you get nice panty shots while gliding too. That's always a plus. Whoosh. Always nice camera angles. And the world's always like segmented in these smaller zones. They're not that small. I mean, if you compare it to like Echo of Soul or like a lot of other MMORPGs, it's pretty big zones. However, it's not like one big world that you had in Lineage 2. I feel a lot of newer MMORPGs kind of gave up on having one seamless world, so they have these like segmented areas. Though again, in Blade and Soul, it's not bad because they're generally pretty large. We gotta get up there. I think I went the wrong way. We gotta go over here to climb up that hill. But even just doing the PvE stuff, I'm not getting bored at all. I'm having a lot of fun actually. And I'm playing actually solo. Most of the time, MMORPGs are fun when you play with friends. However, most of my friends already got the max level equipped before me, and I've been playing solo this entire time, and it's been a lot of fun. And the game makes it easy to find people to play with because you need dungeon buddies. You just queue up and you're good to go. I do plan on making another update when I get to max level. Hopefully, I'll just show off some PvP then as well. PvP is probably the game's most attractive aspect, and one of the reasons I want to get to max level and just be familiar with my class and start PvPing because it looks hella fun. You know, again, just beating one boss like when I was a complete noob took me like a good hour, which was super rewarding. Oh, we gotta get some more stem. There we go. This guy again, he's super easy. But yeah, I'm gonna go and call it for now. If you guys do want to play Blade and Soul, or rather Boob and Soul. Before I call it, actually, one more thing I wanted to say. One silly aspect of the game, which a lot of monsters drop trash loot that sells for like literally 1 copper, which is kind of odd because it used to sell for something, which is why it's in the game. But I think they made it sell for 1 copper because people would just have bots farming all the stuff and selling it. So now you get a lot of enemies that drop loot that's utterly worthless, that just takes up inventory space. And there's no reason to have it in the game, but it's in the game to fill up your inventory space. And overall, I mean, I feel like I'm not managing my inventory too well because mine's almost always full. Almost all this crap I can throw away though, but inventory does become an issue later. But if you, I mean, that can be a little frustrating. Kind of wish I had more slots, but I don't right now. Anyway, guys, that's it for Blade and Soul right now. If you guys do want to play it or just learn more about it, do check out the full review on MMOs.com on the link below. Anyway, guys, later.